In this video, I'm going to be covering the two key features of the action server, and that's the digital outputs and the motor control. Now, the digital output controls can be activated using triggers on the timeline, and this has been a part of the legacy server and Lensmaster. And you can learn more about using these trigger actions via the video linked in the description as well as in the card above. Now, what is different about this new server is that it also provides 12 volts output in its active state, so you can control devices like pneumatic solenoids without worrying about additional power supplies. But for the rest of it though, we'll jump over into Lensmaster and I can show you how it's done. For motor control, you can independently adjust and animate up to 2 motors. Now, there are 3 modes of motor control, which are the stepper motor position, stepper motor velocity, and RC servo position. I'm going to select stepper motor position for this example and outline the steps for setting this up. First, we're going to specify the number of steps per motor revolution, and this should correspond with the settings on your motor driver. Next is the gear ratio, and you might have to check on your motor, or you might have to consult your motor data sheet to find this information. Now, if your motor doesn't have a gearbox attached, then this should be set at 1:1. Next up, we're going to set the speed limit of your motor, and this is measured in RPM. Finally, set the unit of measurement, and I personally prefer degrees as it makes sense for the applications that I use it for. If all is set correctly, I can then jog the motor using this slider, or I can input specific numeric data and it will just jog itself to that exact position. Now, there's also some additional settings where you can control the speed at which you can jog the motor. Now that you've established and confirmed the connection, we can then add the motor to the timeline with a right click to add an external access. Now, you're going to get a prompt where you can select either motor 1 or 2 and just confirm a couple of parameters. At this point, I tend to change the icon to help to identify the motor keyframe more easily when it's on the timeline. You can then add multiple motor keyframes to the timelines and just edit them like you would any other keyframes in Lensmaster. But that is it for this video, guys. If you've got any thoughts or any questions about what we've covered today, leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to get back to you. See you on the next one.